Hi everyone, it's Jane back again today with another project for Wow Embossing Powders, and today I'm going to be playing with the new Candy Buffet Trio. So for my project today, I have got some supplies that I haven't had a chance to play with yet. I always like to try and shop my stash and make the most of my existing supplies before going out to buy new ones. So that's what I'm doing today. I've got the Candy Buffet Trio here from Wow Embossing Powder. It's one of the brand new releases for May 2024. And you can see here that I've swatched out the three colours and placed them on the top of my pots, and that's a really good visual way of seeing what embossing powders I've got in my collection. So my plan is to die cut these rainbows, or these rainbow art shapes, which are from Concord and Ninth. And I'm going to be heat embossing each one of these rainbows in the different colours from the new trio. So the colours that we've got are Grapefruit Fizzos, we have got Rock Crystals and Fairy Clouds. And there's such a lovely trio of pastel-y, purpley, glittery colours. And as soon as I saw them, I thought, yeah, I have to do something magical looking with these. So my mind went straight to this stamp set that I've got from the Greeting Farm, which is called Magical Friends, and features the kind of pony and unicorn images. And I bought this one because I've got two daughters who are 4 years old and 6 years old, and they are suitably obsessed with My Little Pony. So I knew that they were going to love anything that I made with the stamp set. So I've started out by pressing my first die cut into my Wow Embossing ink pad. It's a little bit messy and sticky to do it this way, but I find it's actually the easiest and quickest way to get coverage on die cut. So that's my preferred method. But if you wanted to, you could make your die cut and then pounce the embossing pad down onto the die cut. Either way works absolutely fine. So I've added one of the colours from the trio onto the first arch, heat set it with my heat tool, and then I've gone on to do a number of the other arches as well. So I've grabbed a piece of A2 cardstock and I've laid my arches out on the top, and I'm just working out how I want those to be laid out. And then I've got my liquid glue. I'm using one from MFT Stamps today, and this has given me just a little bit of time to wiggle those into place and make sure that they're all kind of snuggled up next to each other and there's no gaps between my arches. So now that these are stuck down onto my card base, I'm grabbing my scissors. These are Tim Holtz scissors, and I really like them. So I'm just trimming the edges of those die cuts away from the card panel where it's hanging over the edges. And you might notice that on the final arch that I glued to my page, I actually put the glue on the card instead of on the back of the arch, and that was because I didn't want the back of the arch to be all full of glue when I used my scissors to trim it down, because I don't want them getting all gummed up. I just have to apologise, by the way, for any background noise that you can hear. We have an 8-month-old puppy, and he always waits until I'm starting my voiceovers to either eat the loudest thing that he can possibly get his hands on or play with one of his noisiest toys. So apologies if you can hear any of that chaos going on in the background. So what I'm doing now is just lining up my sentiment on the page, but I'm struggling to get it to go on straight. So I've just grabbed a piece of grid paper that I've got. This is a sheet of acetate with some grid lines on it. You can get them anywhere. You can get them on Amazon. Lots of craft suppliers sell them as well. And you can get them in all different widths. So this just really helps me to make sure that each line of my sentiment stamps are lined up properly. So I'm just inking up my sentiment now with some black ink. Again, this is from MFT Stamps. And I didn't get a great impression. It's the first time that I've used this stamp set, and I didn't condition my stamps. So that's a good reason why you always should. But I just stamped it a few times to make sure that I got a good impression there. And then I'm moving on to my unicorns. I'm using some Transitype Perfect Colouring paper for these, which is very good alcohol marker friendly paper. And I'm stamping down my unicorn and my pony with some alcohol marker friendly ink, again from MFT Stamps. It's their Extreme Black ink. So I'm just going to be Copic colouring my images today. And I've got this swatch chart. This one's actually from Rochelle Ann Miller, or Ram Stamps. And it's a great way of swatching out my Copics and being able to pick the colours that I want before I get started. So I'm just matching up those Copic colours with the 3 embossing powders that I've used to make sure that I get a good match. So what I'll do now is just speed the video up and put some music on and let you enjoy the colouring process. Okay, so that's the colouring portion done. I'm quite pleased with how these turned out actually. One little tip that I'd give you when you are colouring hair, or in this case manes, is don't be afraid to leave a little white band in the middle of the hair, because you will always have that kind of sun reflection on your hair. So leaving a slight white band or a very, very pale shade of the colour that you're using can help give it that kind of realistic sheen look. So I have just grabbed my Quickie glue pen and I have added that to the unicorn horn, and then I've just tapped some of my Wow Embossing sparkles over the top just to give that unicorn that little extra bit of sparkle. And I'm moving on to fussy cutting my images now. I use these Cutter Bee precision scissors, which I found have just been a game changer for me on fussy cutting. The other thing I would say about fussy cutting is just to take your time, move the paper as opposed to your scissors, and that should really help give you more control and help you get that precise border around your image. And just to finish off my unicorns, I'm grabbing my white gel pen and I'm just adding a few little lines and dots in the areas with the darkest shades of Copic marker, so the areas where there would be more shadow. And I always like to add gel pen to my Copic coloured images because I think it just really lifts them and just gives them an extra something. So now that they are ready, I am going to pop them onto my card using some foam squares. You can see actually when I flipped over the second unicorn, some stamping on the back, and that was because the first time I stamped out my unicorns, I double stamped it and didn't get it quite in the same place, so I ended up with a second line. So that's the great thing about card making, or about card, is that it's got two sides. So if you ever get your stamping wrong, you can just flip it over and start again. So that is my card assembled now. I hope you like it. My daughter's loved it, so that's always a bonus. I just love the colours in this trio. I really like purple and I really like glitter, so you can't go wrong. Please do check out the inspiration from the rest of the design team. It's a brilliant release this month. There is so much inspiration out there to be had. So don't forget to check it out on the Wow Embossing page. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.